So I was teaching in Vegas for 5, 6 years, and we had this teacher who was across the hall from me. She's another science teacher, and one day she shows up at lunch and she goes, "So I'm moving to the Ukraine." And I went, "What are you talking about? Who's going to the Ukraine?" And she's like, "So there's these international schools, and I'm going to go." And I'd never heard of it. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I was like, really? This is something you can do? It's just, oh, it's this whole network of international schools, and it's really great. So I instantly was like, this is what we're gonna do. But you don't really know what else to do. So it's like, well, how'd you get hired? And so it was this whole conversation about that. So I've been to a lot of schools. I've only ever worked at Korea International School, but I've been to HKIS. I have some friends there. I'm gonna go to International School Manila in the fall for a robotics thing, and American School of Japan. And because there's not a lot of design teachers, so we all know each other. So like the school in Jeju, hey, come down, let's talk about design technology. There's a school in Busan, or I have some friends there was a conference in South Saigon, and let's go look at their makerspace. So I'm trying to go to all these different schools to like get input for our program too. Teaching in the States, and I taught like low income kids, and they need you, and they really need like support and emotional and social stuff, and so it's harder to do content sometimes because you've got a lot of other issues you're dealing with. So internationally, I don't have any more of those issues. I don't have to write grants for robots. They're just like, here's some robots, or here's your makerspace, or here's $10,000 to build these things. And then you're in the States and they're like, write a grant, because that's what I did for a lot of like my design stuff. It's absurd. Like, I'd never traveled. I'm from Detroit. I'd never had a passport until I was like 30. And now it's like every year my daughter, who's 5, is like, we're going to Bali. Well, she's 8 now, but she's 5 when we came abroad. And we've been to Bali and Vietnam and, Bangkok. And you go everywhere. And that's what you do with your vacation time. It's like experiences, not things anymore. So you don't buy stuff. You're just like, let's go to wherever you want. It's so cool. I really like it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, I'm glad. So
I think as a couple, we were both ready for a change, and we actually met while teaching overseas. So we like traveling, and our daughter was old enough to get that positive experience too, and that's why we was a no-brainer, and we wanted to enroll with Search Associates because it was such a prestige company. So we went for it, and it worked.
Great.
It really worked, yeah. And we are placed in Beijing City International School. It's been almost 2 years, and we're loving it, really. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Yes. I'm here now at Earcos here in Bangkok. 2 years ago, I also came to Bangkok to an IB conference, and a lot of support from my school, and meeting fun people, connecting with other teachers. So it's been great. Yes. But it's been a wonderful experience. Yes. The food, the people, getting to know the sites, the Great Wall of China. It's that's part of also being an international teacher and working in an international school. You need to learn about the history and get to meet the people, the local people.
What a wild story it has been, and a wild ride. 36 years on the international road. It was the only job offered, and it was an interview in a small city that I had wanted to go to a restaurant in. So went really for the restaurant, and ended up being hired to teach first grade in Kuwait City, Kuwait. Got on the airplane, never turned back. Love, love, love international teaching and the international child.
Me too.
Seoul, Korea, China, Beijing, and Shanghai, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and have never taught in my own home country, and want that to stay that way. I'd like to stay overseas until I can no longer teach.
For you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Not only being inculcated in other people's cultures, but meeting fascinating people all over the world and keeping in touch. So just, they talk about becoming a global citizen. I believe that international teaching has really been what has put the seed in my heart of being a truly global citizen.